when you think about 90 years of being in business, so to speak, what does that tell you about uh, Girls Inc. and what you guys have been able to do over those number of years?
Well, 90 years for any business, I think especially as a nonprofit, just goes without saying. Um, Means that the organization is so important to our community and the girls we serve and the families that we serve. And 90 years, I can't imagine how many young women that we've touched, and it's always fun to hear stories. And that's what this 90th celebration is all about. We really wanted to make it a community event where it's casual, and anybody that wants to attend, whether you actually came to Girls Inc., you've been a past coach. We've got coaches that, gosh, they've coached for 30 plus years. And so I think, 90 years, just the longevity of our organization just says a lot. But it also says a lot, I think, about our community. Fort Smith, I think, and the surrounding areas just are such a support system for nonprofits in our community, and being able to be in business, so to speak, for 90 years is goes to say that we've had a lot of support throughout the years.
So this is a huge family reunion this year, kind of.
That is what we hope. And we've just by the ticket sales alone, we've seen there is a lot of alumni coming. We've got some coaches who've bought tables. We've got just sponsors that have sponsored us over the years, parents, and just that's what we want it to be. We want it to be just a celebration. We've had a lot of support through Channel 5 is running some great PSAs for us that have gotten a lot of attention. And thanks to 5 Star, we were able to put those together. And iHeartRadio is running some radio PSAs. And we hope we've got about 200 tickets sold to date. And, our goal is 500. So we hope in the next couple of weeks we can get there so we can, just celebrate.
Talk about that event. When is it going to be, and how can you get tickets for it?
It is April 4th at the Wyndham in downtown Fort Smith, and you can get tickets online. There's the link on our Facebook page. You can see the invitation, the QR code that you can scan and get tickets, or you can give us a call. We can take a credit card over the phone, or just come by Girls Inc.
How many times does a girl who has been through that program come back and either be a volunteer or coach something? I would assume that would have to happen a lot.
It does. I've been there 12 years, and I will say right now, 90% of my staff are Girls Inc. girls. They several of them went since they were 5 years old, and they went as a 5-year-old, went through our program. Then about 14, 15, they started saying, "When can I work for you?" So I said, "Well, not quite yet. So if you want to hang around and maybe volunteer, work with the girls." And then as soon as they turn 16, they're on the payroll. We just hired another girl this week who is a Girls Inc. girl, and I think that's one of my favorite things to see is them doing that. Several of them, and like you said, several others do come back and coach basketball or volleyball, or do our dance class. So that's one of the greatest things to see is when you've been able to watch them literally just grow up in front of your eyes.
Not only has over the 90 years, the places where the girls can gather has gotten better. But how have the programs gotten better? Even just recent, it seems like more girls are taking advantage of these.
Yeah, so I think one of our, just in my tenure alone, one of the proudest program growth things that we've done and we've seen is not only in the center, one of the things we pride ourselves on in the center is just focusing on continuing their education out of the classroom, and trying to let them have fun, but we kind of like to say we're kind of tricking them that they're still learning because they're having such a good time doing it. They don't necessarily realize that they're actually, they're learning some things, and especially life skills that aren't taught every day in the classroom. Just small things like literally addressing an envelope and where to put the stamp. That also one of my things I was going to talk about is our outreach initiatives that have really expanded, and we started those before COVID at Howard and Tillis and Trustee Elementary, and of course COVID happened and we had to stop those. But we're back at those schools. We're back at Howard and we're back at Tillis. We're going into Morrison next school year, so we'll have 3 schools, and those programs are at schools that the girls need it most, and they literally just stay at the school, and we do our programming that is at the center, and we just do that right there at the school, and it's absolutely completely free of charge to any of those girls that want to attend.
How successful has that program been?
It's been great. I mean, we've been able to, right now there's about 40 to 50 girls combined in those schools, and just being able to be at those schools and help, and the partnerships with them. We know from the girls and talking to the principals and the parents that it's really making a difference.
Besides all the fall and winter and spring sports, I know you've got a busy calendar as far as fundraising is concerned. Highlight some of the events that are coming up.
So in the summer, we do our annual women's luncheon, and we've got a really great speaker this year, very dynamic. She's climbed some huge mountains, like literally, and I'm not going to say the name because I will botch it. But soon after we get past the 90th anniversary, that event information will be up. But it's going to be on June 20th, and it's going to be at Peak Innovation Center. And then we will have our annual festival that is going to be Thursday, September 12th, and that's at Uncourt. And then we do a combined golf tournament with several other local charities that focus on children's initiatives, and that will be in early October.
Never a dull moment at Girls Inc.
Constant.
That's amazing. Amanda, thank you so much. Have fun with the 90th. It sounds like you're going to get a lot of interesting stories coming in for sure.
I hope so. I hope to reminisce and hear a lot that night.